Good morning, all of you. Today we are going to continue the discussion of ICH good clinical practices. How this first time ICH was developed and what was the objectives of ICH GCP guideline throughout the globe. How the initiations were made and which are the nations participated in the development of the global guidelines. Everything we have discussed. And this ICH guideline contains various sections. First section is about glossaries. Second section is about this second section is principles of GCP principles. In the third section of this ICH GCP guidelines is about establishment of institutional review board and independent ethical committee in the trial site. So it will be an independent organization with an members from all the disciplines. They will assess how this work is progressing scientifically, also ethical point of view, how it is safe to the human participants enrolled in the study. Similarly, the next section is about the fourth section is about investigators' responsibility in the clinical trial. It well defines what is the role of investigator. That is section 4 that we are going to discuss today. Investigators are the scientific experts participating in the clinical trial. Other than sponsors, they are also equally very important in the clinical trial. What are their responsibility? It is defined in ICH GCP guidelines. So accordingly, their job should be defined and necessary documents to be maintained. Their responsibility, according to their responsibility, they have to proceed the approval procedures, passing informations to the regulatory authorities, monitoring activities, all they have to do. Okay, we see one by one what is their responsibility. Qualified by education, training, and experience to assume responsibility for proper trial conduct. So, to be an investigator, they have to have proper qualification and also have enough experience. So, accordingly, the sponsor should appoint investigators for a particular clinical trial. So, that should also be proved by the qualifications and the experience should be proved by necessary documents that should be submitted to the regulatory authorities. They will review and approve that. Should be familiar with the appropriate use of investigational products. That means the substance which we are going to develop as a drug, that is called investigational product. That will be they should have enough knowledge in that field. They should have did some preliminary studies in that, could have experience in that. So such people should be selected. And other information provided by the sponsor that is about the investigation product that should be familiarized to these investigators. Should be aware of, should comply with the GCP and applicable regulatory requirements. So these investigators should know all the rules and regulations defined under good clinical practices. So those investigators, it is their responsibility to train in guidelines. Should permit monitoring, auditing, and inspection. So all the time, it is a parallel activity. When they are proceeding any scientific research, parallelly auditing will be done, monitoring process will be done, inspections will be done. So it is a simultaneous process. So they should allow in all the time when they are proceeding scientific study. Delegation of duties to appropriate qualified person. So they can distribute that. Under them, many assistant the investigators can be appointed. So like that, qualified people should be selected as a team member. Potential for recruitment of required number of subjects in a study. This many sample size to be maintained. So that many subjects to be recruited. That is the responsibility of investigator. Scientific time, sufficient time for trial conduct and completion. That is a responsibility. They have to monitor. Investigators' responsibility. and the staff and facilities for all the other functions that should be appointed by investigators only. Ensuring training to the staff because it is a research first time we are doing. So we have to give proper training to them. So that is the responsibility of investigators as per good clinical practices guideline. Then qualified physician, investigator, sub-investigators for the trial should be responsible for all trial related medical decisions. So any adverse drug reactions happened, found, then it should be informed. Any untoward incidents happened, for that compensation or any treatment or stoppage of work immediately. So all these decisions should be taken by investigators. So they are only responsible for that. And for example, preparation of protocol and assessment of risk in any procedures. So these all based on the decision of investigators. Adequate medical care during and after trial participation. So that is investigators' responsibility. Like that, they have to safeguard the trial participants. Make reasonable efforts ascertaining for premature withdrawal from trial. So if any patients withdraw themselves from the study, they don't want to continue further. So make reasonable efforts ascertaining for premature withdrawal from trial. So necessary steps to be taken. Whether it will be statistically affect the data, then necessary additional procedures to be handled, or what to be done. The decision will be taken by investigators. Written and dated approval for trial protocol, informed consent document, recruitment procedures prior to trial initiation is the responsibility of investigator. They have to monitor these activities, collection of informed consent document, and filing that. And also it should be submitted to the regulatory authorities. That is their responsibility. Should provide latest copies of investigator brochure or to the institutional review board. Investigator brochure is the information leaflet circulated among the scientific community involved in the study. So all the scientists will read and understand about the investigation products, about the trial procedures, everything. So that is prepared by investigators. Should provide all relevant documents for reviewing during trial. So the reviewing means reviewing will be done by three organizations: institutional review board, institutional ethical committee, regulatory authorities. So all the supported documents should be collected and submitted by investigators. Should conduct trial in accordance with the protocol version agreed and documented by the sponsor, IRB, and regulatory authorities. The work should not deviate even 0.1% also from the protocol stated. It should follow the same procedures as it is given in the protocol. That is the responsibility of investigator. If practically it is not possible, if any deviations found, they have to stop and then they have to take further approval and then proceed. So that is the rule. So protocol first we have to submit to the regulatory authorities. All should approve. All three regulatory authorities should approve, and it is the responsibility of sponsor. And that protocol will be given to investigators. That investigators will maintain as per the protocol. No changes allowed in the protocol except in case of immediate hazard to the patient. It should be submitted to all immediately. So if any serious problem is found while proceeding the research, then immediately we have to stop and then we have to think about revising the protocol. For that we need approval from regulatory authorities. Next, responsible for accountability at site. Accountability. If any problem, anything happened within the responsibility of investigators, then they are the persons accountable. So explanations, corrective measures all to be taken by investigators may be assigned to pharmacists and individuals. This mm, this kind of responsibilities, investigator responsibility, will be assigned to pharmacists because they are right persons to handle investigational drugs. Stored as specified by sponsor or regulatory authorities. Investigational products, investigational new drugs, we don't know exactly their physiochemical properties, and then the dose, storage conditions, stability related information, formulation informations. But we have to develop before initiating human study. We have to develop all these data as per our current understanding. We have to maintain proper storage conditions, proper dosages, dosage forms, everything for investigation product. It is the responsibility of pharmacist as an investigator. Used only in accordance with the protocol. As per the protocol only, we have to store and maintain the products. Should follow the trials randomization procedure. That the experimentation should be uniformly randomized among the trial community. These subjects. So procedure should be random. It should not be tested only one group. It's like that. So any premature unblinding to be explained to sponsor. So normally we do trials in a blinding manner. The investigators also double blinding investigation also don't know what data it is, and the subjects who participating also don't know what kind of treatment it is going on. That is called blinding. So sometimes we will unblind the data and we find out whose data it is, whom this data is derived from, who collected this data at what time. So like that, because sometimes there will be serious adverse drug reactions. So that time we need unblinding procedures, and we have to justify this why we did unblinding. That we have to maintain a proper documentation, and we have to submit with the explanation to the regulatory authorities why we did this in this. Actually, in an electronic format of data maintenance, definitely the unblinding will be registered. What time or done by whom with authorization of which investigator, that will be registered. So we have to give explanation for that. Comply with the regulatory requirement, ECP and ethical principles. So that all principles should be adopted in all the procedures taking place in a clinical trial. That is responsibility of investigators. Documented communication of revised informed consent documents to the IRB and patients. Revised informed consent document. First, we prepare an informed consent document. Later, we understand various risks associated with clinical trials, so we will update it. Or while proceeding to the next level, we may need some updations. Informed consent document. So while recruiting a new group of subjects, we have to circulate these revisions. What are we made? That everyone should agree once again, and it should be approved by institutional review board also. That is responsibility of investigator. Subject to their legal representative should be fully informed in their own language. So the informed consent document should be explained in understandable language to the trial participants. So it should be confirmed that they read and understood everything. Then their own willingness, voluntarily they are taking part in the study. So that should be confirmed by investigators. Non-technical language only to be used in informed consent document. Technical medical terms should not be used. Ample time for consent and opportunity for questions. We have to allow the trial participants enough time to read and understand and ask various questions for clarifications, and then we have to enroll them in the study if required. And the informed consent process should be videographed and stored as a data by investigators. That is the current rule as per Indian CDSCO guidelines. Impartial witness for illiterate patients. Impartial witness for illiterate patients. Those who can't read and understand illiterate. So for them, witnesses will be witness signatures will be taken in their presence only. The ICD, informed consent document, should be admitted. Subject should receive a copy of the signed and dated ICD amendment. Amendment means changes. Initially, we submit an informed consent document. Later, if you are changing anything, for that also we have to take signature from them and then we have to continue the step. Then, should ensure accuracy, completeness, legibility, and timeliness of data to sponsor in uh, case report form. This accuracy, completeness, legibility, timeliness, this is responsibility of investigators. Correction in CRF should be signed, dated. Any case report form, any modifications done as per the instructions of the regulatory authorities, that should be signed and dated when it is these modifications were done. Maintain trial related documents. All documents is the responsibility of investigators. Whenever it is requested by due to legal proceedings or by regulatory authorities in every stage, that is to be submitted by investigators. Financial agreements in place. Any compensation payments or regular payments or purchase related expenditures, all to be maintained by investigators. Or insurance claiming, all to be regulated by investigators. Access to records by monitor, regulatory agency or auditors. That is, we have to submit a record for assessment by regulatory authorities. Progress report of IRB. We have to inform every time, stage by stage, to the institutional review board. This is in progress. This many number of patients were experimented. This is the result. So like that, we have to submit. They will pass this information to the CDSCO, the higher regulatory authorities. Then important point. This about informations, passing informations about serious adverse events. That is the responsibility of investigators. SAE, serious adverse event, should be reported immediately to sponsors and timely as required by institutional review boards and regulatory agency. Should be informed in time. There is a specified time within a week or within 24 hours. It should be reported to the institutional review board. So like that, it depends on the seriousness of the events, adverse event. The timeline will be given in the guidelines. So that should be followed. Deaths reported as per requirement. If anything happened that the serious death is found among the trial subject, that should be detailed report should be submitted within 24 hours. SAE. Any untoward medical occurrence that at any dose result in death, result in life-threatening conditions, require inpatient hospitalization or prolongation of existing hospitalization, or results in persistent or significant disability or incapacity, is a congenital anomaly, birth defect. These are all considered as serious adverse events as per the ICH and the GCP guidelines. Next, in continuation of investigator responsibility, investigators should inform all the subjects about serious adverse events. This is happened, how many number of patients, what time, what is the seriousness. So all should be informed. Should assure therapy and follow-up. If any adverse events, what are the necessary corrective measures, immediately it will be started. Should inform regulatory authorities within the timeline specified. Should inform sponsor in the IRB with explanation. Sponsor is the financially supporting the clinical trial. They should be informed immediately. The same timeline, they should also be informed. Institutional review board also to be informed. upon completion, should inform institution, IRB, and the regulatory authorities with a summary of the trial's outcome. Once after completion of the entire study or a part of the study after which the approval is given, so they have to prepare a detailed report. What is the outcome that should be submitted to the institution where the research is going on, and the institutional review board, and to the regulatory authority. It is a responsibility of investigators. So there are the section 4. It is completely about the responsibility of investigators. 4.1 is about investigators' qualifications and agreements. 4.2 is maintaining adequate resources for conducting a clinical trial. And 4.2.5 is supervising the individual investigator trial-related duties and functions. That is their responsibility. 4.2.6 is about any individual or part perform trial-related duties and functions, and generating the data and maintaining the data and related qualifications. Like that, 4.3 is about medical care of trial subjects. 4.4 is about coordination with the IRB and IEC with supported documents and review processes. And 4.5 is about compliance with the protocol. Any deviations we have to inform immediately, and maintaining the investigational products. 4.7 is about randomization procedures and unblinding. If any unblinding done in between, it should be documented with explanation to the regulatory authorities. Then 4.8 is about collecting informed consent document and maintaining the document. And 4.9 is about responsibilities to maintain all the records and preparing reports time to time and submission. And the 4.9.0 is an addendum. That means additionally included in GCP guidelines. That is about the data should be attributable, legible, complete, and original, accurate, without corrections, and also traceable. So these are all the responsibility of investigators. And we have to submit progress report during the progress of clinical trial to the regulatory authority. It is 4.10. 4.11 is about safety reporting about serious adverse events. So these are the way. 4.12 is about premature termination and suspension of the trial. If anything goes something serious, we should not further. The occurred incidents should be any serious incidents that should be stopped at that stage. It should not be continued. Final report after completing entire trial, it should be submitted. That is 4.13. So there are these many sections, and the responsibility defined under responsibility as for investigators as per ICH and GCP guidelines. There is also responsibilities defined for sponsors also in the clinical trial. Sponsors also equally responsible for any adverse events, maintaining documents, conducting clinical trial, and enrolling study participants. For that, sponsors also equally responsible. And also their important responsibility is the sponsor should take necessary approval from regulatory authorities time to time before initiating any clinical trial. That is the overall responsibility of sponsors, and also providing necessary equipments, safety measures, and enrolling study participants and their safety all should be ensured by sponsors. And the important responsibility of sponsor is providing compensations, financial assistance for any affected study participants. That is sponsor's responsibility. Okay. We continue this responsibility of sponsors in the next class, coming class. Stop recording now.